We are back on American soil at Road America for week number 7 of the Martin Sports Car Club iRacing League. How are we doing, Lexi? You happy to be back on American soil? How's your American accent?
Hello.
That's an American accent?
Hi.
That's better. All right. So we're going to, as the cars start moving off, we have a short parade lap, but let's get into the race info real quick. There is your track map, and today is a hot one. We are racing in the middle of the afternoon with the track temp over 111 degrees. So it's going to be a very slippery course for a lot of the guys today as we hit 20 laps on the same set of tires.
That's probably like the same degrees here.
Good. It feels like
right
it, doesn't
now.
it? Yes.
Yeah, like over 100.
All right, so let's take a chance to talk about the grid. So we have Ollie Ballinger in pole position with a 206.6, and it just goes backwards from there as Jesse Olson goes in with 0.2 seconds afterwards. Andy Gederich in third for pole on the podium for pole in third, followed by Daniel and Vincent in fifth, John in sixth, Matt Carroll in seventh, Ryan Flannery in eighth, Dean Dibdahl in ninth, and then from here it gets interesting because the everyone was right with that same amount of time. So the 1.3 seconds back between Justin Hall, Justin Dive Bomb, which says dive there, Kevin Medita, Zane Plumley, Skylar Gregg, all within this almost time, just a few hundredths of each other. Following back is Tom Jensen, Michael Day for 15th and 16th. Junie is 17th. His teammate Chris Wells in 18th. Eric Lightsey in 19th, Craig in 20th, Bjorn in 21st, Michael 22nd, Nicholas Vincent 23rd, Michael Cochran starting from the back in 24th, Robert Elder in 25th, and Matt Montalvo in 26th. So
there's more than that.
Yeah, big grid today. I always hit that wrong button, don't I? All right, there we go. And we're going to get ready to go. So let's go ahead and get this thing started. So we have a nice, big, tight field today, which usually does not fare very well for Road America, especially through the first couple turns. And hopefully they'll get single file line as it's massive pack. Look at that there. So there's all 25 cars, 26 cars working through. And there are some guys in the middle of the pack that are trying to make moves, and other ones that are looks like they are trying to just be patient because they know it's going to happen.
What does this mean? I think I heard you say it.
Montalvo?
I
Yeah, that's somebody's last name. That's Matt's last name. Yeah, he's in 22nd place right now. So we're keeping an eye on the middle of the pack here, right along with Justin Smalls, who does not get to earn his name back, Justin Hall, because the other Justin Hall is racing in another league tonight. So we'll have to get them guys going head-to-head and see who they can earn back with their normal names. So right through turn 5, oh, somebody goes off in the back. Looks like Nicholas Vincent and Ryan Flannery there might have got together down on the downhill turn 5. As a lot of these Porsches here this week are starting to go side by side as Dean and Ryan are right next to each other. Justin kind of slots in right there, but the pressure is getting put on by Kevin Medita as they're starting to go through now the carousel, which is coming through. Oh, remind me, we got to ride with somebody, and then we can talk through the corner names. Yep, I'll get there. So here we are, one of the fastest sections coming out of the carousel. It gets really slippery, especially on a hot track surface and cold tires. It will sometimes get a little crazy.
I already chose my clothes.
Yep. Oh, and there goes Dean Dibdahl. He goes. This is worth a slow mo. Oh, and he takes out Justin and the guys behind him. Oh, and then spins and hits the other Justin. So Dean made a Justin sandwich, and Justin is still on the gas as he is trying, and he loses control. Takes out, oh my goodness, Kevin Medita and another teammate. Who is that one? That must be Skylar that got through. And here comes Justin back across, takes out Zane Plumley. Unfortunately, so this is a massive, massive wreck here in the kink. This looks exactly like
riding on the grass.
Yeah, this looks exactly like what happened last year, almost to a T. I don't know if the players were the same, but that's unfortunately how it happened there. Goodness. All right, so we are riding on board with John Suplich. He hasn't been racing here every week, but we like to have him back, so he is here with us. And now these guys have got a gigantic lead back, so 6 seconds back. So Michael Cochran in 9th place actually was the first guy to get through that carnage without getting hit. So he's made up 15 places even before he crosses the start-finish line of the first lap. That is absolutely amazing. A lot of the guys are going to be heading to the pits. As soon as I say that, Dean is the first one to hit pit lane, followed by Justin, Barrera, and Skyler as well. And those guys, I don't know if they took a tow. There goes Zane Plumley. He's also going in, and Justin Hall will also be going in there as well.
I think we're missing Bob Bleacher.
You know what? We are missing Bob Blucher.
Yeah, I didn't hear him, and I also don't see him.
Nope, unfortunately. I'm not sure why. Maybe he had other engagements. He normally does like racing at Road America, so we'll have to ask him what happened on that one. So the front 9 guys are starting to, actually 8 guys, because Michael is 6 seconds back, but he does have Tom Jensen on his tail, so we try and get these guys. There they go. That's about how far back they were. That was a quick camera shot.
That is such a cute dog.
Yeah, so Tom, yes, thanks for putting a picture of your pet down on the bottom for your banner. That's awesome. I know Lexi really appreciates that, and it does give a lot of people bonus points for being able to win the Lexi Car Dress Up Award this year. So how's that going this year?
It's going.
Has it been harder? Because I know a lot of people are running the same colors so they can have the same teams.
Well, I guess it's been sort of easy.
Sort of easy? Because there's less cars to pick?
Well, on the first race, or the second, it was hard to choose.
What was so hard to choose?
Well, there was a puppy car, and you know I love puppies.
Yes, that's true.
And then there was another car that looked like some kind of picnic blanket that I just really enjoyed. So it was so hard, but you know I love puppies so much that I chose the puppy. And fast lap.
Yep, Ollie throws down a 207. Didn't catch that, but a lot of guys now, obviously, tires are getting back up to temp, and they are getting their fast laps in. So of something to note, this week there is Andrew. Yes. Oh, yeah. That's an awesome picture, Andrew. If I'm not mistaken, I think that is supposed to be the helmet of what's his name? I can't believe I'm having a brain fart right now.
Dad, that's what my teacher said.
Well, yeah. So yeah, he drives for Jaguar now in Formula One. The name escapes me. Anyway, so getting back to Andy. So Andy is in a Porsche 911 and not in his normal McLaren. So and nice to see he's still up front. So he's being able to get a grip on that car and keep it moving. So a lot of Porsches now coming into the field as iRacing is starting to really get a grips on tuning that thing, and people are starting to get the hang of it.
I like that.
You like that?
Yes, but I think the paws are 2 different things. Like they're 2 different paws. I mean, that one's round and that one's just like.
Yep. So unfortunately, because of that wreck, this is some of the best racing here up front between these 4 or 5 guys. Ollie is pulling out a lead right now over Jesse Olsen. There he goes right there, 2.5 seconds. Now we know that's not gonna end up, being that way the whole entire race, because I know Jesse usually, finds a lot of speed one way or the other, and these guys race against each other all the time. So also Jesse is not in his Lamborghini. He is in a Porsche 911 as well, and he's running the Coca-Cola livery, unfortunately, because I was a day late in trying to get Chris Wells' 911 livery for Team MSCC made, and so Jesse didn't really know that. So that's okay. We'll get him hooked up, and I'll get him a name on his car and keep going. So there's Oliver. Yep, Ollie again, a 207 flat. How 8.8 seconds faster than Jesse. Andrew's down there 0.6. So a lot of the guys, so Daniel and Vincent, but I know they're using the draft on each other. These guys are coming through, and there's Matt Carroll towards the back end of that, as he is starting to get some pressure now from John, who's closing the gap up. So we'll make sure that we'll keep an eye on the timing of scoring for anything. So the only other ones that we have towards the back after the guys wrecked was actually, where he is there. There's Justin. And he got his Ford GT fix, so he is the last of the surviving Ford GTs. I know he does a lot of his own tuning, so he is very familiar with that car, and he's going to stick with that for a while, and he is running with Zamplummy Motorsports as well. So we'll have to find out. We can get him to put on that livery for that car for the rest of the team. So Dean now catching speed after his pit stop, 2:08 for him, which is his best lap. And Junie, unfortunately, a 2:32, and Skylar and Justin, 2:09 and 2:08 respectively. So Justin is closing the gap on Skylar, and we will hopefully see some passing. So Zamplummy 2:08.7. So a lot of the guys are now starting to get into the 2:08s, and some of the other guys are still working on their pit stops and getting around. So unfortunately, we'll get things worked out as we move back up front. So there is Jesse. Whoa, sliding it out towards the kink, using every bit. Those Porsches love to slide that back end around, and unfortunately sometimes just a little too far on some of those, and the back end will spin around. But Jesse does look like he has set that car up to over-rotate to get him through the corners. Hopefully he can hold on to the back end of those tires, because with the engine being in the back and the downforce, the tires on the Porsche 911 wear out pretty quick towards the back. So he'll be on tire management, no doubt. But he has no time to rest with Andy all over the back of him, and then Daniel and Vincent. So there goes Ali again with another fast lap. He was just by hundredths or even thousandths. Yeah, that's how close it was. And Andrew still now, he is on the back end of Jesse Olsen going to these first 3 quarters.
3 in the same thing.
I know.
That is so cool.
That is. So right off the back, let's talk about some of the guys who. Oh, we see a move. Who was that? Was that? Oh, it was in front of that. There it goes. There's Vincent. He did look on the inside of Daniel, as you would say, Kroger. Daniel Ciro. And he is looking to say, hey, I want through. I want to catch up to these fast guys up here and hopefully get a good podium position. He does look like he does have speed in that BMW M4 GT3. So the field, if you look over the other side, looks this week, outside of a couple of Mercedes and a Ford, everything is pretty much. Oh, and Bjorn is in the Lamborghini, but everyone else is BMW and Porsche. So it must be because of the type of track that this is. A long track with a lot of straightaway space and a lot of real fast sweeper corners. So it's pretty easy to set this up. So the guys in the back now are also setting all their fast times. And Justin Barrera still is on the back. So we have a mid-pack race coming in, which is Robert Elder moving up on Eric. Haven't talked too much about him. He's back this race. He was missing for last race. Drops a wheel, and hopefully he stayed on the gas going through there as he runs a little bit wide in the carousel. And Robert is about ready to find out which position or which side he wants to take the position back on from Eric. All right, so I haven't talked a lot. How about you doing some talking?
I'm giving out points.
You can give out points, and you can also talk about, who's in the running for the Shake and Bake. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And the Shake and Bake is Michael Cochran. And then in second place of that thing is Matthew
Montalvo.
Montalvo.
Yep, you got it.
Okay. And yeah, we also have 2 5s, and I'm giving out 620 points.
That is awesome. I like that. So middle of the pack guys are starting to get a lot more green lap times. So fuel is burning off, and here comes the pass by Robert Elder as he looks on the inside, and Eric, it looks like he very politely let him through, not to get any tussle, because Eric was starting in the back. Not quite in the back, but towards the back, and he's made up 5 spaces, so he's looking for a good result coming through here. One of the other guys that is looking at as a good result also is Banana Man, making up 5 spots as well. And so, yeah, it's interesting. Out of everybody up front, the only guy who lost a place was John Stuplich, just 1 spot to Matt Carroll, and he'll be keeping the pressure on to get that one back. What you got?
It's a very good view.
You like this view?
Yeah, it's a good view. You can see like a lake.
Yep, so now we're on the back end of Robert's car looking at Eric as he is going through. And I'm looking for all my camera settings. There's only like 9,000 buttons I get to hit here. There we go. let's check out how we are with these 4 guys. Still about the same spot. Andrew not quite as close as he was to Jesse before we came, broke to the other race for them last time. But still all within striking distance right now. I mean, here at Road America, there's so many fast corners. You drop a wheel, get off the gas, and everyone still has momentum. It will close up a 1 second, 1.5 second gap in no time, especially in this straight right here. So if you don't get the right launch off that corner, everyone will pass you on the front straight because you'll lose momentum going up the hill, and then you also lose the draft as well. So it's pretty tough. So Andrew keeping it in, within a half a second. There he goes. Got a little ride along with Jesse. Oh, you got to start thinking about who you want to ride along with.
Oh, I already chose.
Oh, you already chose? Okay.
I think lap 2 or 3.
You did? Okay. All right. Well, that was a small preview of the first corner as we see Jesse as they start the downhill portion going towards what some would say the back straight, even though it's not completely straight, but it is the back straight before going to the real heavy downhill braking area. Almost looks a little bit like Road Atlanta as they get through there, coming through this section. And right about here, they're going to clamp on those brakes at the 3 marker. Bring it all the way down to first gear, roll through it, and back on the grass, and stay out of that gravel.
We have a new shake and bake.
We do? Who's the new shake and bake?
Matthew Montavlo.
Yep, he is. So look at those 3 guys right there between Michael, Matthew, and Robert. All of them have moved up, 13, 14, and 12 places respectively. So some of the guys who didn't do so well is Dean lost 10 places, Justin lost 10 places, and Justin Hall lost 15 places, unfortunately. So hopefully they're on a different pit strategy. They did have to pit too early, unfortunately, and they will not have, they will have to pit again, and they will not be able to make it all the way around. So unfortunately, they'll have a 2-stopper if they can keep their cars clean. All right, so we have, let's check out what's going on. Oh, somebody just... Was that Daniel? Daniel in the background lost it in the kink again, just like before, and sent his car airborne. Man, that was not good. So yeah, he is taking a tow back all the way to the pit.
Disco ball?
Yeah, kind of like a disco ball, just during the daytime. He was up in the air. You just saw the underside of the car. So he was coming out of the kink and probably just dropped a little wheel on the grass, and it at those rates of speed, 5th gear halfway through the rev range, and it's the car let go, and there's almost no saving it at that point. So Vincent Cernuto is now throwing down the fastest time for him, and also one of the fastest times towards this group. So he is on his move and on his charge to go forward. But I also want to see about this group here, which has just arrived. So we have Tom Jensen, and let's talk about him for a minute. Don't know what happened as Michael Cochran moves in front of Michael Day for there. Oh, that's a great shot. You made the pass on me, and I'm going to ride your bumper all the way through. And that's what Michael Day is thinking for Friend Motorsport. But I want to talk about Tom Jensen. Last season, he had some mixed races, as he had some tough races as well, and usually was a mid-pack guy. And don't know what happened, if he ended up taking some instruction outside of the league or something just clicked for him. But he is now running top 10 just about every single week, so we couldn't be more proud of watching his development and moving up. So he is definitely on the roll for Team MSCC right now.
I mean, I know that on the map there's like some people, mostly people are together, especially those 3. They're like really, really close. But from like in the beginning of the race, you see them all just go off. There's so many of them. But when you see the map, it's just like not that many.
Yep, it is true. Yeah, everyone is I want to say everyone. There's still a small little groups of racers. As we want to check back in with Andrew Gatorick.
Cat.
Yes. Sorry, I keep getting your microphone mixed up there.
It's okay.
Yeah, he is now back at, he uses the grass, takes a little shortcut. Don't know if he got a 1X for that or not, but he was able to keep that car on the road and straight, as he's getting a lot of pressure now through Vincent coming through, and Vincent's going to be able to catch a great draft and maybe a double draft, but being that they're past halfway, they may just situate themselves to stay here. he might take a peek and see what's going on. But yeah, I know we're almost at your second favorite part.
What's my first favorite?
Your favorite part is checkered flag.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, and there goes Vincent looking to race you on the outside as it goes side by side going into turn 2 and does pull off the move. So nice and clean. So glad for those guys to go through there. And Eric's putting in his fast time now as he's continuing to move forward as well. He's usually a good candidate for shake and bake.
That's not a loading.
No, this is not the map. I'm trying to do 9,000 things. I'm trying to commentate, work the cameras,
I can find the map for you.
Keep you situated, and press the 9 million buttons that I need to push for everything that happens.
How about I talk?
You know what? That would be absolutely awesome. Why don't you talk while I look for the map?
Okay. So we're right here with Andy in 4th place. And Chris Wells, or should I say Crispy Wells, is in pit lane.
Oh, he must have had another issue.
I'm very bad at this.
That's okay, but you're getting there. See, that's what you have to do. You just look on the screen, and then obviously it also helps when you control the mouse that controls the camera for the stuff that you want to talk about, as well as we're going to go here and catch up with Michael Day again, who is giving a ton of pressure.
You have to look at all the buttons.
Yeah, how many buttons do you think I have on this one screen over here?
I don't want to look at that. How about
and I can click all the names up there too.
9 million.
It seems like it.
But how many are there?
I have no idea. You know what? One day I think we should count them for fun.
Okay.
Yep. Nicholas Vincent hits the pit lane again, and also does Craig. Hopefully those are 2 Tennessee Region SECA teammates. Hopefully they didn't come together and come through. So all right, lap 10. Time to pick somebody. Who's it going to be?
Halfway. Mr. 100,000 years old, Justin Hall.
All right. Well, let's wait till he gets.
Or just one of them. I couldn't choose which one to say. I was actually thinking of the first one I said, but then there was second.
Well, where is he at?
You can choose
on track. So he's about halfway around the track. He's getting ready to go into the carousel. So we'll hold on to him. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on him. He's that gray little circle up there on the track map.
Yeah, it says Hall.
Yeah, so it only takes the first three letters. Yep, so these guys going side by side. So there goes, there goes Michael Day and Tom Jensen. Here's that braking zone I was talking about. Oh, gets a little loose. Tom does there and takes, as they go side by side, give each other room, which is good. But I tell you what, Matt is watching these guys go side by side, and he's like, he just wants a way through. And he does. He finds a way through to get by on Michael Day as they go through, and looks like he's got a little bit better drive. But, Michael does have the inside lane and was able to give that up for the drive. So there is Matt moving into 9th place now. 17 points, 17 positions, Matt Montavo. Oh, as he just goes off, commentator's curse. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, Matt. That's horrible. All right, we're going to switch to Justin Hall right now. And right there was the start-finish line, which is that little squiggly line right there. Now, this one doesn't have every single corner named like in someone. So this is really easy. This is turn
1.
Yeah, that's kind of boring, isn't it? This little tiny area right there is
2.
But it really should be
3.
Which is this one, which should have been
2.
Yes, but we'll still go through. And so we have a back straight, and there is one section that is actually a turn right here underneath the bridge, which they call turn number
4.
Which really isn't a turn at all, correct?
Yeah, it's straight.
So turn 4 should really be turn
5.
Even though we're not there, so we'll still call it
4.
Yeah, but they do have this moraine sweep.
Moraine sweep.
Yeah, I have no idea. So we just did turn 5 up and under the Corvette bridge to turn 6. And this one's a hard 90 to the right. And then this one opens up on a
7.
Turn 7. And as we go downhill, it's called...
That could be Dell's Downs.
Yep, Hurry Downs.
Hurry down. Oh. Does that mean you go downhill?
Yep, as they get past...
Turn 8.
And get through this turn right here, which is...
Turn 9.
And into the most popular...
Carousel.
Carousel, good job. And then coming out of the carousel is turn 10. We're not going with the option. This is also called
The Clink.
the kink.
Oh.
Colonel Clink. If you guys are old enough as I am to remember Hogan's Heroes.
And going to
11.
Kettle
Kettle Bottoms, which is also
11A.
11A. Yep, 11A.
Boring.
Into that very famous corner, which everybody wrecks.
Canada corner.
Yeah, that's beauty. That's a beauty. Canada corner. All right, and then you got this corner right here going uphill, right into the last most important corner for the drive.
14.
Which brings us back to the
checkered thingy finish line. Checkered
That's
finish
right.
line.
All right, Justin Hall, thank you very much for your last place trophy, which unfortunately today is not too far from the truth. Sorry about that, buddy. You got collected, but we do appreciate you allowing us to drive along
Maybe
with
Dad
your car.
could teach you how to get up to first place.
Yeah, that won't be me. I'll tell you that. The only way I'm going to do that is if I wreck the field, and I'm still the only guy that's left with unlimited fast repairs. So
Unlimited fast repairs.
yeah, so when you go into the pit, no matter how much damage is done to your car, it fixes it like that instead of like real lifetime.
That's because it's, a video game.
Yeah, but don't call it a video game to some people. They get upset, but technically it is, but we like to still call it a, simulation.
Simulation.
Yes.
So, how about I talk a little more?
You can talk a little more, and I'm focusing on some of the races here.
The buttons.
That are, yes, the 9 million buttons. Some of the races here are a little bit closer, as you can tell. There are, Justin and Bjorn. Oh, Bjorn
What happened
took
to his
some
car?
damage. He has wrecked that Lambo, and that was before the kink. So that must have been that right-hander turn number 6. Turn number 8. That one's really tough. It's very slippery. As Dean Dibdall goes back into the pit again. So this was probably more of his scheduled pit. So you're going to start seeing a lot of guys come in now to get their pit stop and moving through. So man, sorry for that, Bjorn, as Zane goes through and collects 18th place. Still 4 down from where he started. All right, back to the action. Vincent did get past Andrew. So Andrew was relegated back to 4th place. And now these two guys are 6 seconds back from this gentleman right here. There he goes right there, as Kevin Medina very kindly lets him go through as the leader. And maybe he's going to pick up some draft and some pointers on how to pick up some of that speed that Ollie's putting down. So one thing about Ollie is sometimes he is so fast that he does leave everyone behind him and doesn't get a lot of TV time because of that. But we should not, short him at all as being an incredibly fast driver. So we're very happy to have him here in the league. All right, Michael Day is closing in on Michael Cochran, who again has brought himself to be
the Shake and Bake Award.
the leader of the Shake. He's the leader of the Shake and Bake Award for right now.
17.
Yeah. So if he can keep the clean race, say Road America is a lot like Spa, and the fact that is because it is so fast and so tricky in a lot of the corners that there's usually a lot of drama that happens as well. We put your hand up and then you yawned.
I can't help it if I yawn. So, in 1 year, that's the age that Emma will be. She's 16. Then she'll be 17.
Which is going to be 16?
Emma.
But what's that in reference to?
What's her name?
I don't know. You just out of the blue. You're like, in 1 more, that'll be Emma's age, 16. But I don't see 15 anywhere. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Is it past your bedtime?
I don't know.
Are you worried because tomorrow's your first day of school?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't think I'm nervous.
You don't think you're nervous? I don't think you're nervous either. I mean,
Let's keep going.
yeah, you're here every week just talking about anything that comes to your mind, and sometimes you shouldn't, but that's okay because everyone enjoys that. All right.
Pit exit.
Yep, who was that? Oh, Matthew.
Matthew.
Yep, so yeah, unfortunately he did have that wreck going out towards the carousel, unfortunately. And these guys are still going at it. Michael Day is so it's the Michael show.
Michael.
They're both named Michael.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Michael show.
And Vincent is still keeping up with Jesse Olsen. Hadn't talked too much about him, but he is staying steady. Still trying to play catch up with Ollie. Ketchup, yes.
Ketchup.
Not the stuff you put on fries.
Tater tot.
Or you and eggs and what else?
Egg.
What else do you put ketchup on? Your finger and then you eat it.
Ew, no. This might be a bit weird. I mean, I do this, but I like putting ketchup in my green beans.
In your green beans? I don't know about that. All right. So Ollie went in and he is getting his pit right now. So he came in maybe a little early. Maybe that was part of his strategy, which allows Jesse Olsen to take a lap, leader of the lap of the race, which allows him to get an extra bonus point now that he's led a lap. So with a lot of this timing, a lot of scoring that we have, not only do we pay out for 28 places from 75 points all the way back, we also have a lot of bonus points, which the guys do keep in mind. And one of them is like what Michael Cochran is doing today, starting in the back and trying to make up as many places as he can. And now he's up to 18 spots. He does get 3 bonus points for making up the most positions in a race. So he's trying to do double duty, catch the most points, and get a high placement as well. Oh, you smiling because I said duty? I bet there's a bunch of guys listening to this right now laughing as well. I mean, you know, we're just guys. So she's going to be laughing for a while. So some of the other bonus points, I can't even talk anymore. So some of the other bonus points that we give out.
Bonus room.
Yes, we have a point for the losing the most places. A clean race, meaning no incident points, will actually get you 3 points. And fastest lap of the race and leading a lap also get you a point each for those as well. So moving towards the back. There we go. I wouldn't say towards the back. It was just in front of the guys we were just watching. There's the angry sloth of Daniel Ciro. And after his unfortunate incident in the kink, is now giving chase as, the leaders are now going in. So Jesse and Vincent, just if you saw them, Vincent went into the pits to take their pit afterwards. So Jesse is still showing as the leader because he's probably going to maybe cross the finish line because the pit is kind of in the middle of where the finish line is.
I think I just realized, or maybe I forgot, that is a tree and not his arm.
Correct. That is a tree. Maybe he hit his head and he's going, oh, because it takes him so long to say it.
Oh, that's hilarious.
All right, so with that, actually Michael Cochran goes into the lead. So he was able to cross the start-finish line before the guys got to their pit box in the start-finish line. Oh, is that you like that, Kitty?
Yeah.
What do you like about that one?
It's just his face or whatever.
I don't know if these guys, like, these are their own cats and like they lay them on a bed and like squeeze them to make funny faces or something. I have no idea.
That's mean.
Who knows? Or if you guys ever have a chance to like watch YouTube and put in cat versus cucumber or something like that, it's funny. You just put a cucumber in front of a cat and they jump and you think it's a snake or something. I don't know. So all right. So anyway, back to the racing. As Michael Cochran now has led a lap of the race, he will also get a point as well. So you can see the guys cycling through, and Ollie back on track is 11 seconds back with Jesse Olsen 5 back. So, excuse me. It looks like Jesse did make up some time on the pits. He was like 6.5, 7 seconds back, and now he's only 5 seconds back from Ollie. So Jesse being a precision, dropped some wheels there, but he was able to catch it as he goes through the back section, getting ready to, there he goes, right through the kink. You're supposed to talk when I'm drinking.
Okay, that cat face is funny.
All right, let's check on...
I told you about this.
We'll just talk about what's on the screen, you know?
Okay, they're moving.
Yeah, well,
Coca-Cola.
they're racing, but I mean, you look at over here and you said,
fully sent.
yes, that's the team that they're on, and the guy's name is
Vincent
Cernuto. Yep, and he is racing a
Lamborghini.
Close. You could have said a blue car. I would have been happy.
Blue car.
And he is catching up to the Coca-Cola car.
The Coca-Cola car.
Yep, and if you see this green thing here, the guy in front, he's in 4th place, and he is trying to catch the car in front, which is
Jesse Olsen.
There you go. I just taught you all my secrets of how not to broadcast.
Wait, how not to broadcast?
Yeah, because I'm not a broadcaster whatsoever.
You are a good broadcaster.
Oh,
it's
well.
just your first one was a bit.
We don't talk about the first one.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, it's horrible. Absolutely horrible. All right. So Justin Dive Bomber Barrera got his name because.
Can I say that?
Yes, you
Okay.
can. Yeah.
Where is it? Oh, it's on Justin Dive Boomer Barrera.
Yes. So Dive Boomer Barrera. He is quite famous from coming like 3 corners back and dive bombing other people, and sometimes it works. Most times it works. Sometimes it may not, but nonetheless, it did earn him that nickname. So he is quite happy with that because, believe it or not, is people make fun of the Ford all the time, and I know I used to drive it a lot until I just switched over to the M4 because a lot of the companies and tuners that are making setups, like a setup shot, Craig Setup Shot VRS, quit making pre-made setups that you could get and just load onto the car and drive it. So all those guys have stopped supporting the Ford, and I just didn't have a lot of time to keep tuning. And I know Justin does have a bit more time than I do, so good for him, and he's able to tune his car the way he likes to drive. So I switched to the BMW, and so Justin is having a lot of fun still showcasing that Ford.
Lap 16.
Man, we are getting there, and these are some, I wouldn't say long laps, 2 minutes, 8 seconds-ish.
2
So,
minutes.
yeah, each lap. So not entirely a long race, but one of our longer ones, almost a 4-mile track, almost as long as Spa.
Have you ever been in a traffic light that's been 5 minutes?
I have, and then when you think it's ready to go green, then all of a sudden it goes red again because a fire department or ambulance has to go by.
And so it hears the sirens and it goes to red?
Correct.
What if someone's in the middle, but then someone's going that way?
Well, then you have to wait because they have the right of way. All right, so here are these 2 911s of Matt Carroll and Andy Gator because they're going around turn number 1. What's up?
You can finish your sentence.
No, go ahead.
You can finish your
No,
sentence.
you had your hand up. Go.
Okay. 2 people are out. That's it.
Oh, yep. We did talk about that. It was Nicholas and Craig.
Vincent,
So
and
Team
Craig
Tennessee losing 2 of their guys. Right now, the leader of Team Tennessee is Ollie, and second on their team is Michael Cochran. So 2 guys up front, but the Friend Motorsport have a lot of guys up front as well. You see Matt Carroll take a much different line. I don't know if Andrew was trying to defend or if Matt was just taking his normal line, and that's how it worked out. But he did go very wide of the rumble strip. So they're using every inch of the track here because now he is all over the back of him as these 2 911s. Whoa, I tell you what, these guys are getting lucky. Every time I drop a wheel in that same spot where Andy did, I am looking at the sky sometimes. So
The sky? In
yeah,
there or here?
meaning my car is halfway up the fence and not on the ground or on the track where it should be.
You mean like in the air?
Correct. Yes, in the air, not where it should be.
Are you mostly disco ball sometimes?
I don't know. This particular track, oh, there goes Andrew. No, that back end I was talking about earlier.
Spinning.
Yep, the back end just lost it going over that rumble strip. I said these Porsche 911s, they are tough. And with that, unfortunately, in the closing laps, as Andrew looks like he is losing time now, unfortunately. I don't know if he's trying to limp that car back. We can check real quick. Yep, he is trying to limp that car back now to the pits.
Is that kitty about to go to the kitty moon?
Oh, that's Sebastian Vettel. So yeah, it came
Is
to
he
me.
a famous cat?
No, he's a famous Formula One driver. He's won I think 4 championships with Red Bull, and
You just recognized his helmet.
yeah, I know I did that, and because I had 9 million things going on, I couldn't think of it. So when you were talking, I actually looked at the helmet and remembered who it was like 5 minutes ago, but I didn't want to cut you off.
5 minutes ago.
Yes, 5 minutes ago.
Bull bleacher.
Yeah, I know. We miss him. I don't know what's going on. All right, so let's kind of go through the field here and talk about some of the guys. Since everyone is pretty spread out, here's Chris Wells, who really wanted to have a good race. Unfortunately, did get caught up in some of that melee there that happened earlier. So he does like to run a clean race, and I think he has very little incident points, maybe 1 or 2 right now. So he's still moving on and being happy. He's giving chase to Zane Plumley right now in 19th spot. So they are, I know if these two get together, there'll be a lot of respect between them. At the same time, there will be a lot of moves happening as well, because I know there's between these two guys, there's a lot of friendship for a lot of years and a lot of beer drinking. And now Chris has got into bourbon and whiskey drinking. So now we both share that in common as well, besides this racing. So Chris is keeping up, which is good. He looks like he might be putting some times. He's only at 1.3 seconds back. We'll keep an eye on that and see what happens. But Banana Man right now showing in 14th place.
There's the angry banana
Yep.
with 1 tooth.
He is, and he is, now that Andrew came out of the pits, and Banana Man also in a Porsche 911 is sticking with it. I'll tell you what, he has had a love-hate relationship with this car. Everybody knows that they are very difficult to drive, and you need to drive them in a much different way that you would drive some of the other cars, just by the layout and configuration. And of course, sometimes it's the programming that iRacing has as well. And he is sticking with it, and it looks like he is starting to really come to terms and get some times in there, and most importantly, consistency. Being able to finish a race without mowing the grass. I don't know if you guys remember, if you've been in the league long enough, the very first season, the big joke was Michael Cabrera used to work for a lawn maintenance company because he was always in the grass at least every 4th corner. And then Lexi used to take points away from him because he was always in the grass wrecking it all the time. So again, the development of the league is great for a lot of these guys as we're running in our 1.5 year-ish that we have, so still having fun, but we have 50 races under our belt, and couldn't be happier with a lot of the guys, the way they're still keeping up with this and improving. What you got?
I don't think I do that anymore.
Oh, take points away for grass?
Yeah, I don't think I do that
Yep.
anymore. Oh, that's new. Is he crossing his eyes?
I don't know.
What kind of cat is that?
Junie, I hope that's not your cat. Oh my goodness, it's like you haven't changed the litter box in a week.
I didn't think of that. She's like, what?
The other cat in the background is kind of hanging out like, what is wrong with that dude?
Oh, I didn't see the
All right, so yeah, there's Junie Thompson. He actually had a lot of pace. He's keeping up a lot of pace here in the latter part of this race. She can't stop laughing about that. As Justin Barrera puts in his fastest time of 2:08.8. So yeah, a lot of ZPM cars out there this week. So they're all getting unified and doing well. They've actually won some of the team competitions here from week to week, which is nice. And so they're, and actually with Justin in there, even though he's not running the livery, all 3 teammates are right on top of each other there with Junie, Justin, and Daniel. So can't fault that. And Justin is making up time now on Junie as he's closed the gap within a second. And Chris Wells, there he goes. Chris Wells fell back from Zane Plumley. Not sure what happened. Maybe he had an off track. And he has fallen behind Bjorn, who's also got his car fixed. And now these guys are going to race to the end to see who's going to take up 21st spot.
Skylar Gregg is out.
Yeah, Skyler is out. Unfortunately, I think he had a wreck coming out of the last turn, and he pulled right into the pits and decided to call it a day.
That cat is so funny.
I know. I know. This is like an animal club. Besides Daniel, everything is cats and dogs.
How do they get such funny pictures?
I don't know.
It's not like they squeeze them. That's just torturing them.
Well, I mean, they don't squeeze them to hurt them. They just squeeze them. They can make funny faces.
Like that?
Yep. So here's Michael Cochran, who did put some distance between him and Michael Day, and is now have his sights set on Ryan Flannery here for 5th place. But you know what? You missed because you're laughing so hard at cats.
I can't say it. White flag.
White flag.
I said it.
Yep, there is Ollie right there. The webcam's not on.
I know.
Okay, so you're waving at it.
I don't know.
It's not even plugged in. Man, I tell you what, I don't know what you had for dinner, but you better eat more of it or stop eating it.
What are you talking about?
You're just cray.
No.
All right, so here's Ollie coming in the last section with, we'll real quick check back with Michael Cochran. I don't know how he gets away with using that much grass, especially going through the kink there where everyone else has lost it. And also Justin Barrera now giving real close chase to Junie Thompson to see if he can grab that 16th spot between these guys. All right, so back up to the front. There he goes. Just caught it as he crossed the line. There is your winner, Olivier Bellinger, going through checkered flag with Jesse Olson in 2nd. There he goes. And Vincent in 3rd, followed by Matt Carroll in 4th. So top 4 guys pretty close to each other all the way through down to the end. So there's Matt Carroll there in 4th place. So moving up to Ryan, it was, and as giving chase with Michael Cochran, but Michael could not go ahead and make that pass as the race was coming down. So there's John Stuplich, ended up in 8th spot. Great outing for him as well. And the rest of the team is coming through. We're going to go back and check some of these guys here because it is getting close between these 3 guys here. So it looks like Daniel got ahead of Justin as Justin was giving. Oh, who is that? Oh, Dean. Oh man, so as the 3 teammates passed Dean, he was in the kink and lost it again. So that 9/11. So there's on the inside. There goes Daniel and Junie swapping spots, and Justin has the best seat in the house watching these guys go back and forth as Junie says, "I want my spot back, man. If you want it, come get it," as they're coming down the line. So the ever most important last corner as Daniel takes an inside corner, maybe to get a little bit different drive as he sets back in, and 3 of them is going to be a drag race all the way to the end and up the hill. But looks like Junie's got enough horsepower, and he's going to hold on to 15th place, followed by his teammates 16th, 17th, Daniel and Justin. So as everyone's coming through, Dean had to take a tow after that, unfortunately. So I don't know if he's actually going to end up in 12th spot as shown, because there's like a virtual tow truck that takes time to get him back to the pit. So we'll see how that ends up as well. I think his pit may have been on the other side of the start-finish line, but we'll see about that. All right, so everybody is through except for Kevin Medina. There he goes and just crosses the line there in 23rd. And last spot, I know that's not where he wants to be. He's been a fast guy a couple weeks in a row. So it's been pretty tough for him. What you got?
All right, well, I know my Lexus award.
You do? Who was it?
Coca-Cola guy.
Ah, Jesse. All right,
Yeah.
we'll have to grab a picture of that and send that up on the board. So let's go.
Wait, that's floating.
The outhouse is floating. There's a joke in there somewhere, but I'm not going to say it. All right, so
Tell me.
no, not quite. So here are your results for week number 7 at Road America with the Martin Sports Car Club League. And points leader and race winner, Olivier Bellinger in 1st place, followed by Jesse Olson and Vincent Cernudo to round out the podium. Outside of that, it's Friend Motorsport for the next 2 spots, Ryan and Matt. And then first up for Tennessee SCCA is Michael Cochran, followed by closely by Michael Day from Friend Motorsport as well. Privateers, which are not privateers, we had to get them to change their banners, are John Supplitz and Robert Elder, about 12 seconds apart. And the first driver for Shut Up and Drive was Eric, making a ton of spots as well. So our Shake and Bake Award winner is going to be
Michael Cochran.
Yep, made up a ton of spots starting in the back. So he had a lot of help as well going through the accident in the kink right through there. So back to it, Michael Cabrera, look at that, an 11th spot, keeping a clean car. That's probably one of his best positions, especially with the league, with all the new guys and everyone getting so much faster. That's probably his best result he's had. So congratulations, Michael. Matt Montavo in 12th, Tom Jensen in 13th, Junie, Daniel, and Justin Tybomb 14th, 15th, 16th for ZPM. Zane Plumlee 17th for the Tennessee region. Dean had that last lap wreck, unfortunately, in the kink for 18th. Andy as well had that the kink just was not nice to the Porsches. Had another wreck out there. Justin Hall in 20th, which is not like him as well. Bjorn is in 21st. Chris Wells 22nd. Kevin Medina in 23rd, and Nick and Craig actually did not finish the race, unfortunately. So that is our race. How'd you like it? Nice. One word.
A lot of crashes.
Yeah, there was a lot of crashes, a lot of drama here at Road America. So thank you very much for tuning in. Next week we're at a brand new track and brand new on iRacing for this season, which is the Red Bull Ring. So it should be another crazy week that we have here at the Martin Sports Car Club. So thank you again for tuning in, and hope to see you next week.
Bye.